Hello everyone, I am back for another headers and icons video. Today we are going to tackle classic headers and icons, which are basically what I tried to do was compile ideas that seem to be the standard decorative headers that are very simple, easy to use, especially for first-time bullet journalers. So hopefully a lot of you will find this very helpful. Now that being said, usually I try to come up with my own ideas, but the point of this video was to have things that are classic or have been done many times before. So while I have tried to modify these designs and make them my own, you may have seen some of these designs before. I do apologize. I don't know, some of them are so simple, I don't know how to make them any different than what they are. But hopefully if this is your first time watching one of my videos, you'll appreciate all the designs that I come up with. And let's go ahead and get started. So I'm using microns for the most part. Unlike my other header and icons videos, I am not using any colors. I'm just using black and then the white of the paper. You can add any color to these designs. They're very easy to add color to, and there's no specific color that you have to use for these. So I'm just going to keep it really simple. Microns that I'm using are an 01, an 05, an 08, and an 02. Mostly an 01 and an 02 because those are my favorite sizes to work with, but occasionally I will use the 05 and the 08. I am also going to show you the difference between a brush pen, a Micron pen, and also a brush with dip ink, just to show you line weight and variation at the very bottom of one of the designs, just so that you can see that any of the designs can easily be modified with whichever tool you're using. I prefer to use microns, but I do, as you can see, I have brush pens and I have a brush and dip ink in case I need it. So that's just to let you know. Also, I'm going to be using regular drawing paper, this little triangle tool that I absolutely love, and all of my tools will be linked in the description box below. They are Amazon affiliate links, which means if you purchase anything through those links, I do get a little bit of a kickback, and it helps me to keep making more videos. That being said, they're all products that I recommend, and that's why I choose to link them in the description box below. If you have any other questions about the tools that I'm using, please do let me know and I will get back to you. Like I said, I'm going to be covering monthly and daily headers, as well as dividers, icons, and corner decorations as well. At the very end, I am also going to go over variations, and that is going to be a little how-to of how I add variety and I take one design and make it different for a couple of different days. It's going to have a little bit of tips just to get started, very simple. I'm going to add that in at the very end. Just a reminder, if you enjoy this video and I find it helpful, please do like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me to keep making more videos and I appreciate the support. Alright, let's get drawing. Alright, so I want to talk a little bit about variation. A lot of people have been asking me, especially when they're getting started, how they can use these designs and work from them. And if you are getting started, sometimes it can be hard coming up with ideas of your own. And so even I, from the beginning, started to copy other people. And it wasn't long before I started to try and develop my own style instead of copying from others. And this is actually pretty easy to do, and I'm going to show you 2 different designs, and then I'm going to show you different ways that you can modify those designs and how I modified my designs to add variation and to also kind of make them my own. I'm going to start with the arrow because it's really easy to do. This is something you've probably seen around. That's why I included it in the classic headers and icons video, because it's a very simple, easy, but also decorative element. So I've already got my lines ready, and there's basically 2 elements that are, for the most part, going to stay the same, and that is the little tail on the back and the arrow point. But there are different ways that you can make those look that will add variation. So the first thing I'm going to do is make the arrowhead a different shape. And similarly, I can make the tail a different shape. So same design in a lot of ways, but it is different. It's more pointy, less rounded, and has its own character. A lot of variation can be added by adding in different shapes or modifying shapes that are existing. Alright, so I'm going to go back to pretty similar to the original design. I'm going to modify the tail just a little bit, just to make it a little different. And then I'm going to use a different pen and do a different font. Easy way to add variation. See, all 3 of these look very different, but they're all from the same idea. So I'm going to keep going with this. I think you probably will have gotten the point by now, but I just want to show even more options. Playing with shapes and trying different things. And sometimes they'll work and sometimes they won't. I already don't really like this one very much. But you never know if something will work until you try it. This is also how I was able to use, when I first started bullet journaling, I actually would pick one design. Like, I did pick arrows as one of my first headers, and I just did arrows for an entire month. So I would come up of 30 different or 31 different variations of the same thing, which got very tiring towards the end of the month and very boring. So I don't do that anymore. But when you're just getting started, it's a great way to force yourself to try something that you've never tried before. Line is a great way to also add in variation. So when I use different microns, and I've talked about this a lot, how the different weight lines can make a huge difference in how something looks. So using a heavier weight on the outside and then adding the smaller weight on the inside for decorations. Really easy to add in variation and make it feel different than the others. So these are those. Original idea, and then different variations off that idea. And some of them are a little messy, but I think you get the point. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to this one. I'm gonna keep the element in the center the same. Alright, so I'm gonna use this one. All the ones are pretty similar, very close together. I'm gonna keep a few minor errors. in there, but for the most part, this is going to be a great example of how shape can really be played with by even just changing a few minor details on the outside. You can make these feel totally different. So there you go. Those all look very different from each other, but they all started with the same concept and idea. Just to review, so these are the original designs, all the ideas that I just went through and variations. The line weight is important and makes a difference. Oops, I forgot to enter the details for this one. Line weight, font, different sizes and shapes. This is great example of how you can keep a similar design and make them different. These look like flowers or leaves, maybe little metals or icons like a sun. It's just, you can add variation in many different ways to the same original design idea. And that's how I do it. Hopefully this was a little bit helpful for you, especially if you're getting started. Try to add variation from the designs that you find and make them your own. You'll be much happier with them if you're coming up with ideas that are original to you and what you like. That is it for my classic headers and icons video. I hope this was helpful for you, and if it was, do let me know in the comment section below. I've got the daily headers, the banners, corners, and icons, and the monthlies. As always, if you have any ideas for future header and icons videos, please do leave them in the comment box below. I have a very long list going, and I plan to go through that list. I appreciate all the suggestions I've gotten so far. I'm definitely going to do all the things that have been suggested, and I will continue to do them. So if you have an idea, add it to my list, and I will keep making these videos as long as I have ideas for them. I hope that this one in particular was helpful for you. I really like these designs, and I personally am going to be using them in my January planner. And I'm also going to be making a January plan with me very soon. I'm also going to be making an end of year bullet journal, what I do at the end of the year to evaluate, and then also what I do at the beginning of a year to set goals and intentions and everything. So those are upcoming videos. If you do want to catch those, be sure to subscribe. I make 2 new videos a week. Sometimes they're travel videos, sometimes they're art videos, and I try to always keep them interesting. I'm hoping to post more than twice a week in the next couple of weeks. I've got a lot of ideas that I want to get out, and I plan to make more videos in the next 2 weeks. So hopefully I'll get those out. If you liked this video, do give it a like, and again, leave me any comments, any suggestions, anything you want to see from me, or even if you just enjoyed it and this was helpful, please let me know. It really inspires me to keep making these videos when I know that people appreciate them. Thanks for watching, and until next time, remember to live, love, and travel on. Bye!